Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for waiting a couple of extra minutes as we get ourselves settled and we start our webinar this morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend, getting ready for a great week. We're kicking it off, I think, in a very good way with our Supplier Association meeting and have some excellent information to share with you this morning. I am Natalie Littlefield. I am the Vice President of Strategy at the Borderplex Alliance. This is our Borderplex Supplier Association meeting. We did kick off the Supplier Association back in March, and we've had quarterly meetings ever since. And we also invite this group to join our Binational Technology Forum, which happens every other month. So hopefully you are receiving all of the invites and are enjoying the content thus far. And I'll get into some of the changes and initiatives of the Supplier Association for the rest of this year and then early into 2022. So today's theme is leveraging your minority status to grow your business, and this is basically our first step towards changing our strategy just a little bit. And we're going to be identifying, working towards identifying more business opportunities for the members of our Supplier Association. So this is really the first step towards that, but you'll see a lot more of these private business opportunities in the future. Before we kick off today's panel, I wanted to give you a few updates on some Supplier Association initiatives. We did kick off our landing page for the Supplier Association. I'm going to put that link into the chat box in a moment. This is meant to be a library of resources for suppliers. It's got content related to exporting, advanced technology. There's a link to our YouTube page, and it's going to be a place where we add additional initiatives and additional things that we're doing that will add value to your company. So keep a lookout, keep an eye out, and we'll continue to upload resources to help you out. I also wanted to talk about the upcoming launch of our Industry 4.0 Consortium. And what this is a partnership between the Borderplex Alliance, Supplier Association, the TMAC, IoT Co., and Mechatronics Automation. And we're working together to provide some free consultation services to provide digital transformation for factories, essentially services. So in other words, what you would call smart manufacturing or intelligent manufacturing, depending on who you talk to. And the group will give you the initial assessment of what they think needs to be done. There may be an in-person assessment as well. So and what you'll get out of that is the ability to see what potential your company has, maybe help you identify some goals for adopting new and advanced technology to make your company more efficient, profitable. So that's the goal of the Industry 4.0 group, to give you some free consultation services to actually, so that you, if you're not already integrating Industry 4.0 technology, to help you do that, or to take you to the next level. So it's a very exciting initiative of ours, and we're going to officially kick it off at TMAC's Smart Manufacturing Summit on November 17th. So if you all are interested, please check out Google TMAC's Smart Manufacturing Summit and attend that. There, I will be on a panel with our partners discussing that program more in depth. So hope you all can make it if you're interested. Also, the Borderplex Alliance has joined a group called Aspire, and Aspire is basically a research and development organization that focuses on electric vehicle charging stations. So, as many of you have heard, have seen, have experienced, or even working in electric vehicles or the electric transportation industry, this is a very hot industry that we can build on top of our already successful automotive industry here. So it's a great opportunity for us to join forces with a variety of universities, including University of Texas at El Paso, University, Utah State University, Purdue University, and a variety of others, as well as major industry players, all of the big players, Ford, Chrysler, different companies are also participating in this research effort. So this really is an opportunity for us to stake our claim and show that we are being proactive and growing our supply chain for EV by participating in some of these research projects. So more to come on that. Starting in December, the Future of Work Committee will be focusing on manufacturing. So as you all know, skilled talent is a top priority for companies. And this group is looking towards the future as what employers in manufacturing are going to need. So we will be focusing on the manufacturing industry in December. Also, we're working on a digital twin supply chain project with UTEP and TMAC. And this is a particular interest of ours through the Supplier Association, because we would love for anyone who's interested, who's a supplier, an OEM, or a logistics company, you've got a logistics company, we would like you to consider participating in this digital twin project, which will be a digital twin of our supply chain regionally. So this is an effort to really utilize Industry 4.0 technology and to examine our supply chain and build efficiencies for companies here. So very exciting. I will put, along with the landing page, and I will also put my email in the chat box in a moment. If you're interested in participating in that, please do send me an email and let us know. We will be really happy to work with you on that project. And last but not least, as I mentioned earlier, we are working on identifying more private business to business opportunities for the Supplier Association. And what that's going to mean for upcoming meetings is that we might not stay on a quarterly schedule. We might have sporadic meetings in between the quarters. And so just wanted to make you aware, you might be getting emails for these opportunities that might pop up, one exciting one coming up. It's been in development right now, so you'll see an email in the next month or so of our first business opportunity that we're going to create for the Supplier Association. So that's all I have, and I know that's a lot of stuff. And as I said, I'll put the information in the chat box. But I hope some of those things piqued your interest and you're interested in participating, because all of this is to create value for you. So without further ado, we do have two fantastic speakers with us today to talk about their organizations and specifically what opportunities their organizations have for minority owned businesses. So I would like to first introduce Elke Mosholder. Elke is a procurement specialist with the El Paso Community College Contract Opportunities Center, also the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, where she provides technical counseling assistance to businesses interested in pursuing government contracting with federal, state, and local municipalities. Previously, Elke was a procurement advisor with the Southern Region New Mexico PTAC and formerly a quality assurance manager and COTR for the U.S. Department of Justice. Elke has over 30 years of experience in government procurement. She is a certified quality assurance manager, certified ISO 9000 documentation auditor. She holds an APTAC Regional Certified Level 2 Associate Contracting Assistance Specialist certification as well. So Elke, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thanks a lot.
I'll pass it over to you now.
Thank you. I just right off the bat, just to let you know, I'm a very informal person. Okay, and if anybody has any questions, it's just like I always encourage my clients, say what you want. Because I get a little out of control with that myself, and just I think after all my years with the federal government, it just kind of stays with you. So anyway, thank you for that introduction. I'm in replacing Pablo this morning. He had a doctor's appointment that he could not miss, so I'm going to speak to you briefly about The services that we offer, and please, like I said, if there's any questions remotely what I'm be talking about today, please feel free to ask. Okay, so if you're ready, then I guess I'm ready too. So let me go ahead and start this here. So I'm going to stop the video. Just stay on here. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And hopefully that works. Can everybody see this? Hello?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
it. We
Yeah,
can see
good. Let me know when you don't, okay? Please. Okay, we are the Contract Opportunity Center, known as a Procurement Technical Assistance Center. We are located at 9050 Viscount, Building B. It's right behind the Fountains of Pharaoh. Let's see here. This doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. Like I said, we have a cooperative agreement with the Department of Defense through Defense Logistics currently. At the end of the month, this is going to change, and we're going to be under the Secretary of Defense, DoD Secretary of Defense. We have a grant. That's who supplies us our grant, and that's how we are at the Contract Opportunities to provide our free services. Mind you, let me repeat that: free services, nothing that you need to pay for from somebody else. So this is how we get our funding. There are 94 procurement technical assistance centers located throughout the United States, and you can find them under the aptac.org website. And I'll just show you here shortly. And there are over 300 offices throughout the United States. And here now, I think here in Texas, I think there's 7 PTACs. We're here to service our local area. We do provide somewhat assistance to New Mexico, as long as they are what's called in a distressed area. The federal government has different cooperatives, and we fall under the one where we can assist a distressed area client. If they're from a non-distressed area, that's not likely that we're going to be able to provide that assistance, especially if they're coming from back east or other than around the surrounding area. We do get a lot of calls regarding, can you help us here? Can you help us here? They're out of New York, they're out of Chicago, they're out of everywhere. And normally the first thing that we have to do is we have to refer them to their local PTAC. And we are the bridge between the buyer and the supplier regarding to government contracting. And this is not just the federal government I'm talking about. I'm also talking about state, local, school districts, pretty much anybody that you wish to do business with, but a lot of our focus is with the federal government. And here's the website for the ABTAC. So if you go to this website, it'll lead you into the ABTAC landing page, Association Procurement Technical Assistance Center. This is who we fall under. And if you'll notice here, there's a map, and you can click on any state, and it'll take you to the ABTACs that are located within that state. And so, like I said, we do all our services are free. Some PTACs do charge somewhat, but I think that's for a different purpose. But like I said, ours is free. And we provide assistance to the El Paso businesses and surrounding areas. I might have to add that too. That are interested in either market expansion or job creation. And just like it says with the federal, state, local government, educational institutions, electric company, water utilities, are your utilities. We do a lot with prime contracting. We cannot engage directly with a contracting officer, even though a lot of my friends are contracting officers. And that's my advantage a little bit if I have a concern about something. But otherwise, we cannot go between a client and a contracting officer. DLA just will slap us upside the head if we start doing that. And the PTAC originated with the El Paso Community College in 1986, and under that cooperative with DLA. And this is for the whole purpose of market expansion, job creation, contract awards, that sort of thing. And we do provide counseling support. Some of our stuff includes registering with the government. The federal government, of course, they have all these registrations and constraints that's required. And we assist with assisting with a DUNS number. Dun & Bradstreet, they did lose their contract. It is going to another group, York and something or other. I can never remember it. They're not engaged yet. The companies that do have a DUNS number will retain that DUNS number for historical purposes. But what's coming into play is called a unique entity identifier. And that's coming into play. That's coming into play next year. Those individuals that are already registered in what's called SAM, the System for Award Management, they already have been assigned a UEI, but their DUNS numbers will remain. So there's going to be a lot of changes coming up next year again. And so we help with the SAM.gov, which is vastly very big. Of course, SBA profiles, which is known as the dynamic small business search, which is required for the federal government. That's like looking into the yellow pages of your organization, your capability narrative, your performance, some of your past performance, which is a evaluation factor within government solicitations. We help with reviewing bids, interpreting some of the regulations, because yes, they are, as you would know, how difficult that can be to understand exactly what the federal government is requiring, which constitutes of the Federal Acquisition Regulation, known as the FAR. They govern the federal government. And as I always tell my clients, it's enough to fill up a building. And that is the truth. And then you have the Code of Federal Regulations, and then so forth. We discuss contract performance, subcontracting. If you're new into the system, then there's always a good way to go into subcontracting. I do harp a lot about subcontracting, making sure that you get everything in writing. The federal government's motto is, if it is not in writing, then you're out of luck, because everything has to be in writing. There are some ways to get around that, especially if somebody has not gotten paid. Quality systems, we really cannot elaborate, even though I'm a former QA manager, we really cannot elaborate. DLA forbids us for some reason. But I still do talk a little bit about QA systems, not so much about the ISO though, and different accounting systems, technical support, almost the same thing, understanding how to prepare your bids. We cannot do them for you. We do have somebody though that will do that though. But just understanding the entire bidding process, what questions to ask contracting officers, outreach support. Unfortunately, everything has gone virtual. Hopefully next year, we're going back into our conferences, our big conferences that we have. We are supported by state, local entities, utilities. We usually generate over 200 people. There is somewhat of a cost to that to support the luncheons that we do provide. Marketing support, we try to help you to understand, make you understand who is your target market. Maybe you have a lot of target markets. Well, it just all depends. There's so much to marketing, especially to the federal government. And also we assist with state and local as well. We have what's called a bid match support, bid match system. It is a customized bid match service, as it says. It matches your company's products or services based on your keywords that you provide us, and you'll receive business opportunities regarding that. The annual fee, though, is $25, which is not a whole lot, really. Then that's to pay for our system that we are utilizing. Some PTACs charge a lot more, some don't. That just all depends what type of systems, who they're utilizing. Reference support, we do help you understand government military specs. I'm very big on government and military specs since I dealt with that a lot. Different purchasing systems. So state procurements, understanding that. So we do assist, we do a lot of assistance. And I'm going to show you some of the different training and seminars and workshops that we do provide. Right now, currently, they are all virtual at no cost. But once we get back into the office, we do charge a very little amount. I'll give you a rough estimate, maybe $15, $20, maybe, depending on what we're doing. And that's just enough to cover our expenses, because it's not like Department of Defense is going to say, here's extra money, go ahead and have a continental breakfast. So we have to figure out a way how to kind of do this on our own. And then, of course, here's some of the workshops I'm going to talk to you a little bit about. Contracting 101. Everything that you see here, and then some that are not listed here, is having all to do with helping you to enhance how to do federal contracting. But actually a lot of this does apply to state contracting as well, because a lot of them will go hand in hand. And so this is all for you, all for the benefit of the client, to understand exactly what is required so you do not fail in any of these categories, or that you just flat don't fail, period. So to begin with, we have what's called Contracting 101. We'll begin that at the beginning of the year. That'll consist of 3 modules: a government contracting basics, which is just your basic registration and looking for NAICS codes, that sort of thing. Successful marketing, I do give that one. And I do have, I do like to add a little bit of a little fun to this stuff by doing a little concert series. It all has to do with marketing, getting contracts. Danny Portillo, he's not one of our counselors, but we do, he used to be. He does one called Getting Contracts, and then he also does proposal reviews and proposal preparation. So those that are not aware of how to do this, that would be very beneficial for you to get a full understanding of what the requirements are. Forecast forums, we generally hold with Fort Bliss. They will bring in their contracting officers, their buyers, and you can have a one-on-one meeting with them. Be prepared to have a capability statement. Everything is based on a one-page capability statement. Those that do not know what that is, you can definitely request assistance from us. We do have some templates that we provide, and then we really kind of engage with you on how to prepare a one-page capability statement and your target market. And of course, then we have DCAA. We have a presenter from DCAA talking about the different accounting systems, required government accounting systems that you have to have in place. OSHA training, our procurement contracting symposium. We hold that every year, generally around May. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we were not able to do so. But if things progress well, let's put it that way, then we'll be able to have our procurement contracting symposium next year. This is where we generally hold it the Centennial. Not sure where we'll hold it this year. We are supported by prime contractors, utilities, such as the electric company. Thank you, Alex. And the water utilities, prime contractors, like I said, different vendors, school districts, universities, of course, the federal government, Fort Bliss, Holloman Air Force Base, different let's see, Army Corps of Engineers. So we do have very good turnouts regarding these events. So this is one of our big ones. There is a fee for that because of the booth and the rental spaces. The Veterans Business Conference is very much like the Procurement Contracting Symposium. It's not just only for veterans. It is for everybody can engage with this. That's usually held in November. This year we will not. We're going to hold off on that this year, but next year we will be available to do this again. And of course, GSA training, we've got that coming up as well. Shortly, we've got it coming up. Writing and winning proposal preparation, joint ventures teaming. We do have an attorney that does provide us that training because it's extremely important to know what you're getting into regarding to joint ventures, teaming agreements, the legal side of it, making sure that everything is in writing, everything's on the up and up, and you do get an attorney to do, to engage with this instead of thinking that you're going to figure this on your own because of the different players that are involved. The federal database registrations, I'm the one that does this. System for award management, I take you through the entire understanding of the SAM.gov, the SAM, the contract opportunities portion, wage determinations, the dynamic small business search, which is regulated by SBA. The SAM is regulated by GSA. And sometimes the two do not pair off, and there are little issues there regarding their systems. And then, of course, the WAF training that's given by Keith Gutierrez. He is now one of our counselors. He was our personal computer guru. Well, he kind of still is, but he's now one of our counselors, and he does assist with the wide area workflow invoicing. Those are doing business with DOD. That is a DOD requirement, Department of Defense requirement for invoicing. That's an invoicing platform. And then, of course, introduction to federal government contracts accounting system, that's DCAA, provides that cost estimating training. Danny Portillo does provide a cost estimating training webinar on services and construction. Government cybersecurity, you know how big that is, of course, MMC. I think we're going to have one coming up with Del Mar College. They did an excellent presentation on that. Women-owned business certification, the WOSB, and the EDWSB, economically disadvantaged business. Those are federal certifications, not to get mixed up with a regular woman-owned business. Everybody seems to get that mixed up. You can be a regular woman-owned business, but in order to get certified under the woman-owned small business certification federal platform, you have to be 51% owner, in control of the business, and it is certified by SBA, as well as the 8A program, the 8A business development program, that 9-year program that is certified by SBA. It's to help to grow a minority business. And then you've got the hub zone, not to get confused with Texas State Hub. People have a tendency to get that confused with Texas Hub and the hub zone being federal, that is also certified by SBA. Everything I'm talking about is 51% ownership, US owned. And then, of course, there's more details to becoming certified. And then, of course, and these are all also called set aside contracts that the government has set aside specifically for those. And then you've got one service disabled veteran. And then you've got one called total small business. These are known as set aside contracts that are set aside specifically for that, and does require a certification process. Then, of course, we have Department of Labor, the Davis-Bacon Act, Service Contract Acts, the Veterans Affairs. Right now, the CVE, what's known as the CVE, if a company is a service disabled veteran or a veteran-owned business, they have to, and want to do business with the VA only, they have to be certified in what's called Center for Verification, where they verify indeed that you are a service disabled veteran or that you are a veteran-owned business. There was some issues regarding that. So now that requires a certification. SBA will be taking over that program in 2023, but they will allow the transitioning, I believe, starting next year for that certification. So, and I believe that once SBA takes over, that this is going to be a requirement for every federal agency. Not sure yet, but I shouldn't assume anything either. But I'm going to think that, yeah, since SBA is doing it, that it would be entail all federal agencies. And then, of course, I do business doing another one. I do this webinar, doing business with the state of Texas. I talk about the procurement requirements. We are going to have another one coming up with state hub certification. And I'm going to show you how you can access these things. And then SBIR, STTR for grants and contracts. So that's just some of the few that we offer. There's many more that we provide. And then, of course, this is our website. You can visit our webpage just to show here. I'm going to try to go into this to show you, but we get lost and something goes wrong. This is where you can find it. And this is all about it. Upcoming events. Once you click on upcoming events, you're going to see everything now that's upcoming, and that will allow you to click on that specific one that you're looking for, and that will allow you now to register. And that's a great thing that Keith has revised on this. And then, of course, if you are new to our company and you wish to join our services, there's one for requests for services as well. You do have to be in business in order for us to see you. There's no time limit in. And if you do need help for a startup, we do have the Small Business Development Center that are located right next to us on 950 Viscount. And they do assist with all startups, business expansion, capital funding. I always tell people they're everything about a business, and we're everything about getting contracts. And then, of course, then you can see our contact information and so forth. So I'm going to give this a try and see if this works. Can everybody see this?
No, I think we can only see, I can only see your presentation.
Okay, so no, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop sharing here. Yeah, that doesn't look like that's going to work. If you can see so you're still on my presentation then, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so let me see if I can.
If you put the link in the chat, that would,
Pardon me?
if you put the link in the chat, everyone can access the link and walk through
Okay.
the website on their own.
Okay, I will do that. Yeah, for some, it's just not, as a matter of fact, it's not allowing me to do anything. Let me.
Well, Elke, I
me-
know you're working on that. I just wanted to highlight for everyone while you're working on that a couple of things that I saw. And you can chime in if you're still listening. The just to just highlight these things for the theme of today. I saw that there is a woman-owned business certification. There is
Mhm,
the Veterans Business Conference coming up, the
mhm,
CBE certification. So I just want to highlight some of these minority specific
mhm.
opportunities in case people wanted to um, really dig into those things.
Okay, let me, yeah, for some reason, this thing is just, yeah, okay. Can you see that back again?
Yes, we're back at your
Okay, let me
presentation.
get back here. Then this is our contact. So go ahead. Yeah, we're gonna have these things coming up. Small business certifications. Melissa Murphy, she just gave one here recently regarding the WOSB. 8A, we have not done one specifically for the 8A, but Dan Chacon, who's one of our counselors, I think he's working on that. HubZone, I think Dan's going to be doing that as well, unless we get SBA to come in and to do that on those specifics. But mostly Melissa does the one for the woman-owned small business federal contract program.
Fantastic. Elke, yeah, this is a fantastic information, incredibly useful. As you can all see, the Contract Opportunity Center provides a wealth of resources for you. So please do check it out. And I believe Elke is going to, at some point, or one of us will put their website into the chat box so that you can explore their website on your own and hopefully sign up for services if you're not already signed up. I just want to point out, Elke, an amazing array of training available. I know a lot of these topics, some of the things that you're covering are definitely in demand from the conversations that I've been having with people. So I hope you all find that useful. And definitely get involved if you're not already connected with the Contract Opportunity Center.
Right.
And Elke,
Yes.
so this is since you explain to me the Contract Opportunity Center is part of a larger system, correct? The local.
The Association of Procurement Technical Assistance Centers, okay? We're into that association where I said that we have 94 centers located throughout the United States and over 300 offices. There's like 7 PTACs in the state of Texas.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what about New Mexico, Elke?
Yes, I was in New Mexico for 7 years. I opened up Alamogordo, as a matter of fact. So I was heavily engaged with the Holloman Air Force Base, White Sands, the Forest Service. So I knew the ins and outs. I started the whole contracting thing in Alamogordo.
Interesting.
So there's the closest PTAC is in Las Cruces. We do work hand in hand with Las Cruces PTAC.
Okay.
And yeah, we do share. That means there's a crossover, because I still have clients that they follow me, regardless, that I assist from Las Cruces. And then of course, those that are interested in going to New Mexico, of course, New Mexico's got a little bit of different regulations too.
Sure.
Especially their state licenses.
And where's the Las Cruces PTAC located, Elke?
Oh gosh, they moved. If you'll bear with me here 1 second, okay?
You can put it in the chat box when you find
or
it
I'll
later.
send that information to you.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
great.
they used to be at NMSU. They're not there. I think they're on resource or something or other. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I
well, we'll
haven't
find
visited their
information and
office.
we'll send that in the chat box in a moment. I want to just open up real quick, see if there's any questions from from the audience. If you'd like to ask Elke a question, please put it in the chat box. I don't see any questions right now. We will swing back. If you think about it in the next few minutes, you can put it in the chat box and we'll get to your question at the end. But thank you so much, Elke. It's a fantastic operation you're running and a lot of great resources. We really appreciate you joining us today and presenting for us.
And may I have one thing? Absolutely. Because we are a free service and like I said, I'm very informal, but I'm very blunt also. People have to realize, I call them shysters for better words. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to get your money, as you well know. And they're saying your SAM expired and this is going on and this is incomplete. You know, that is not true. And all you have to do is just click on the link and they have you. And I have seen this happen time in and time. That's why I teach the classes on government contracting.
Yes.
And they're both very thorough. One is all about the SAM.gov. The second one that I normally do regarding that, on that same token, is the registration process itself. Yeah, it's so important that people understand what they're getting themselves into, what they're doing, and who's out there trying to get their money. And so I'm just kind of all the phishing, put it that way, phishing emails that are going on.
It sounds like there's a lot of information that one would have to know to be successful in these types of contracts. So
we offer we go through everything step by step, that hand holding, you name it. That's what we do.
Well, thank you so much, Elke. Be sure to reach out to Elke and the Contract Opportunity Center and take advantage of all of these great resources. And we'll be working on the back end to find out, not during our presentation today, we'll follow up with the group to give you information on the New Mexico or Las Cruces COC. So thank you again, Elke, for joining us.
Thank you very much. And I'll get that our PTAC in the chat box. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So next up, we have with us Alex Bayan. Alex Bayan has been with the El Paso Electric Company for 25 years. He is currently working in the Supplier Diversity and Investment Recovery area and has previously worked in the Inventory Management Buyer Planner area. He also served for 9 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Alex. He has built a strong working relationship with organizations across the region and is responsible for maintaining El Paso Electric's supplier database and ensuring that the annual small business goals are met. Alex, thank you so much for being with us. I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. I was having issues with the voice and sound. Anyways, just following up a little bit on what Elke mentioned, a lot of what she included in her presentation is also kind of associated with how we run our supplier diversity program. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into our little presentation we have put together here. So let me see if I can share my screen with everyone. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So on my first slide, it's just we're going to go through how we do business or how companies can do business with us. We're not as stringent as the federal government when it comes to signing up with us to become a supplier. It's actually pretty painless. So once I go through that, you're going to see how easy it is. And for those of you who haven't registered with us, I encourage you to do so. It's a really simple process, and we use this information in order to keep tabs on businesses that are out there that might be able to someday provide us the service or product that they are offering. So please be sure to look at our website and get that registration in if you haven't done so already. So on the next slide, a few discussion points. EPE overview, doing business with EPE, our supply chain management, supplier diversity, what we purchase, and how to register. Just a little bit a short overview of the company. Most people don't realize that we at one point were known as El Paso Electric Railway Company. And we were in the business of transportation with the use of mule-drawn streetcars. So in 1902, the streetcars were replaced with electric streetcars. And in 1925, the company's core business involved to producing and distributing electricity, which is what we do now. The same year, the company changed its name to El Paso Electric and was also granted authorization to transact business in New Mexico. And this is just a slide showing our generation resources, our service territory. Our service territory stretches all the way from Hatch, New Mexico to Van Horn, Texas. We provide approximately 2,062 megawatts of electricity. We have listed here the main generation sources. We have the Rio Grande plant, the Newman plant, the Montana Power Station, the copper plant, and of course, Palo Verde. We have approximately 444,300 retail and wholesale customers in our portfolio. Now, doing business with EPE, we procure all types of materials and supplies. I always get questions as, do you all buy erasers and pens and pencils and paper? Well, of course we do, and it's just that people, when they hear about electric utility, they're not aware of how much material and products and services we use. We have our supply chain management department, which is responsible for planning, purchasing, contracting, storing, investment recovery, and delivery of materials and services. We have our SEM department also provides solutions, quality service, accountability to meet and exceed its internal customers' needs. So basically what we do is, as a supply chain management department, we are the group that provides all the materials and resources that our line crews need out there that are used in the daily activities for the company, the wire, the cable, the poles, transformers. Pretty much everything the company uses comes through our department and is purchased through our department. Here's a quick view of our supply chain management overview. Purchasing and contracts, they are responsible for procurement of goods and services. Inventory management, responsible for all activities related to sourcing, purchasing, management, and agreement compliance of inventory material. We have our material services, which is responsible for receiving, issuing, kitting, tool repair, and delivery of materials to our various crews and work sites. Supplier diversity, that is what I manage and am in charge of. We develop and support the growth and increase of business with small minority, women, and better known businesses. Of course, this includes other categories of businesses, but those are the primary ones that we list in our reporting to the GSA. We also have investment recovery, and that's the recouping the value of assets no longer needed by the company by identifying and reusing disposable supplies, surplus assets. I'm going to go into our supplier diversity a bit. In 1995, the company implemented its supply diversity program. It started, of course, as a small program and has gradually grown to where it's at right now. Spend with diverse business has continued to grow since the implementation of our program. We are a prime contractor to the federal government. So we do have a subcontracting plan in place, which we submit annually. And in that plan, we list and identify goals that we plan to, we hope to spend with the small business entities that are out there that have registered or are doing business with us primarily. Now, prior to the pandemic, EPE participated in a lot of various events, You know, Elke mentioned some of the events that they hold and that we participate in. We also participate in events sponsored by the Southwest Minority Supplier Development Council and regional and national events that we go out and attend. In 2017, El Paso Electric was recognized by the Southwest Minority Development Council as Corporation of the Year. And we hope to continue to build on that and continue to grow our program. So here I'm going to touch on how to register with El Paso Electric. As I mentioned before, it's really a painless process. It doesn't require too much time or effort. It's really simple. It's available to all businesses interested in doing business with us. So basically, it's just going online, filling out a profile form and submitting it, and you're done. If we decide to do business with you, then you will be contacted via email, and you will be given additional instructions on how to complete that registration. We will review your business profile. Our purchasing staff will process the business profile within 7 business days. Usually it's a lot quicker than that. It usually takes about 1 or 2 days. Your company is then added to our database. Based on the information you provide, we will then try to find internal customers, which is what we call our other departments, internal customers, to see if any of them would be able to use your product or service. If so, we will try to, we'll then try to get a scheduled a meet and greet. Currently, it's a little difficult because of the pandemic, but we will try to do either a online type meeting, such as Teams or other type options, and then get you all into the into getting them to get to know your business, and get to see if we are going to be able to utilize some of your services or product. As I mentioned before, we will try to schedule a supplier meeting, and you are added. If you are added to the approved database, that means that you are definitely in. You're not. Your registration is there indefinitely. However, if you are not approved as a supplier, that registration is only good for 2 years. You will have to redo that registration after that. Now, I do encourage when you do register to reach out to us. We get so many registrations on a weekly basis, it's difficult for us to reach out to everyone. But if you are interested in taking it to the next level, we will try to get you all a meet and greet with our end users, and hopefully try to get you in as an approved supplier with us. Here we have the supply chain management contacts. Our director, of course, is Thomas Broussard. I think I misspelled his name. Sorry, Thomas. He's our director of supply chain management. There's his information. And here is mine right below that. Our general email address is supplier.diversity@epelectric.com. I encourage you to use that email address because that reaches to several people that can quickly reach out to you and answer whatever questions you may have. I'm going to try to show our website. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, but just give me a second. Can you all see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, great. All right, so here's our website. Now, to register with us, what you're going to do is scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you'll see here a link called Partners and Vendors. So you'll click on that link, and it takes you to another page. Now, here's where you'll enter the registration page. You're going to click on the link called Become a Supplier. Once you click on that, you're going to be presented with a compliance letter, and it's basically giving you information on how El Paso Electric handles gifts, conflicts of interest, and how we protect confidential proprietary information. After that, you can just scroll down and just finish reading whatever it has there. And then in order to proceed to the next level, you must click on I agree, and then you will click on submit. You also have the option of printing the letter should you want to do so. So we're going to click on submit. This is the profile form. It's basic. It's pretty basic. It's pretty simple. It's basic information about your company. You'll provide your general company name, you're doing business as, if you have one. If you don't have one, there's no need to fill that field out. There's additional information on the side here, such as, are you a current supplier for El Paso Electric? That only applies if you're actually already doing business with us. If you do have a company website, please enter it. If you don't, just click on the box below that. If you were referred to the company by an El Paso Electric representative, click yes, and please be sure to include the name of that person in the field provided. You're going to see I click yes here, and it does provide you a couple of fields for the first name and last name. That is extremely important, because if you should leave that out, we have no idea who referred you to the website. And so what will happen is your registration will just be placed on pending status, and it will sit there until somebody reaches out to us and lets us know that that we're supposed to have you guys set up as an approved supplier. So please be sure to do so. Many companies fail to do that, and they sit there sometimes for a couple of months before somebody reaches out to us. Let me see. Let me take that off. Oh, foreign business entity. This only applies, of course, if your headquarters is based outside of the United States. How did you hear about us? Very important also, because if we met with you at a conference and we've already spoken with you about doing business with us, that helps us, or that assists us in helping push this further to the next level and help you maybe get in contact with someone internally that can, request a meet and greet, or maybe even fast track you all into the next level. Yeah. Supplier address and contacts is where you provide all your information about the company regarding address and contact information. We have a couple of boxes below the first, under each one, under the first one actually. If all the information you provide under company address and company contact is identical to the other two, then be sure to click on purchasing and remittance right underneath where it says also use this address for. That saves you a little bit of time in typing. That'll just copy all that information over to the next two sections. Additional business information, anything, of course, anything you see with a red asterisk is required. Your Dun and Bradstreet number, if you do have one, and I noticed Elke mentioned that that's probably be going away, and we're going to have to add an additional field for that once that happens. But in the meantime, if you do have a Dun and Bradstreet number, please provide it, because that assists us in looking up and making sure that all the information you provided matches up with what they have on file and what the SBA might also have on file.
Alex,
business classification. Yes.
Alex, thank you so much, and that's great information and exciting opportunity to potentially work with the El Paso Electric Company. It looks like here you can do business with companies all across the region, El Paso, New Mexico, and even Juarez, potentially,
right.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
There's
right.
a question from the audience. Alex, could
Sure.
you elaborate on the El Paso Electric subcontractor plan you mentioned?
Sure. Our subcontracting plan, as I mentioned, is submitted annually to the GSA. And on there, we include goals that we anticipate with the and spend with small business entities, diverse entities. Those goals are based on our current budget, plus on historical information on spend for the previous 5 years. We have a formula that we use to identify the goals for the various business classifications. There are 6 of them. That's small business, women-owned, small diverse business, hub zone, but that's a federal hub zone, and that's different from what a state hub zone is, as Elke mentioned. Veteran-owned and service-disabled veteran-owned. Those are the primary classifications that are included in the subcontracting plan. Once the plan is submitted, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, once the plan is submitted, the GSA will look it over, give it and then let us know that it's been accepted. At that point, we strive we really strive to make sure that we meet those goals. And for the most part, I can't recall a time where we haven't met the required spend that we have submitted to the GSA based on those with those various classifications.
Okay, great, thank you. We do have a couple more questions. I know we're running out of time.
Sure.
We have about 3 minutes left. I want to get to all the questions. Amy Olivas asks, would love to know from Elke about some tips she could provide in regards to business certifications. Could she elaborate on some of the services the COC provides to businesses who are looking to be certified?
Is this for Elke?
This is for Elke. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yes. For instance, let me, you referring to like the 8A program, Hub Zone, Woman Owned?
It's not specific. The question, any certifications, she says.
Any certifications, yeah. Okay, any certificate, the certifications, federal, you're talking about the 8A, the Hub Zone, the Woman-Owned Small Business Federal Contract Program, Service Disabled Veteran. Those are certifiable, but the three, the 8A program, Business Development Program, the Woman-Owned, and the Hub Zone, those have to be certified by SBA. Now, there are third-party certifying agencies also that will do the certification for you, meaning one of them is the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. They are a third-party certifier, and SBA will only look at those third-party certifying agencies that one can go through. Otherwise, it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit difficult to tackle it on your own. Woman-owned is maybe not that complex unless you're economically disadvantaged woman-owned. And let me say this, it is based for the woman-owned small business federal contract program and the economically disadvantaged. Those on those two programs, it is based on your primary NAICS code. So you have to know what your primary is, of course, and that's also based on how your taxes too. So what are you making your most money out of? And that's based on that NAICS code, and that's what SBA is looking at. But all this information you can find on SBA.gov's website under federal contracts, and we'll be more than happy to guide anybody through that. The 8A, we will not do the 8A certification. That is done either by the Small Business Development Center, or you can refer to the El Paso Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. They will do that as well as the rest of the certifications. I think they're just a little bit more complex, and that's why the SBDC, I think, is actually the Small Business Development Center. They are funded by SBA, and so they're the ones that will do the 8A certification, because I think they're just a little bit more complex. And to me, what I tell people is, if you really want to engage in that, you need to know your business. There's so many companies that we see, they don't know their business. And so that's a hard sell to the federal government. And so you got to think about, hey, is that certification, does it really apply to what you're doing? Or is it just something that you want? And then you got to be careful of those primes that are looking for those that do have those certifications too. So there's some understanding that's required with those certifications.
Great point. Thank you so much, Elke. And I want to just thank, we are right out of time. So I wanted to say thank you so much to both you, Alex, for your great presentation, and Elke, your presentation as well is incredibly informative. And I hope everyone here reaches out and takes advantage of all of these great opportunities. I know some people might have to jump off. I just wanted to say again, to address Monica's question, the Digital Twin Project is a project that Borderplex is doing with TMAC and UTEP, and it's a digital twin of our supply chain. And we are looking for volunteers, owners of supplier businesses or OEMs or logistics companies. If you fall into those categories, we would love for you to participate. The end goal is to help you make your supply chains more efficient and profitable. So that's the end goal. We can talk a little bit more about what the digital twin means and all of that later. If you're interested at all, please send me an email and let me know, and we'll set up a meeting. So that's that. And I think we covered all the questions. We can send out those presentations to answer your question, Amy. We will send out those presentations to the group later, so you'll have that. We'll also make it available on our landing page. So thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you found a lot of great information that's useful to you, and hope you have a great day, great week, and we'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone.